Hollywood sells us the dream of gorgeous estates that look like palaces. But what if I told you some of the biggest stars in the world once lived in mansions that now sit silent and forgotten? Today, we are looking into the 8 most haunting abandoned celebrity mansions in Hollywood. At number 1 is a celebrity who bought an entire village in France, but never even lived in it. Let's get into it. The mansion that was filled with music, magic, and childlike wonder is now rotting in silence. This is the story of Neverland Ranch. In 1988, Michael Jackson paid nearly $20 million to transform 2,700 acres of rolling hills into his private kingdom. Inspired by Peter Pan, he named it Neverland. This was more than just a mansion. It was an amusement park, zoo, and fantasy-like palace. Jackson built a railroad with a steam locomotive, a carousel, a Ferris wheel, and even a floral clock like the one in Disneyland. Elizabeth Taylor gifted him an elephant, and he also had other exotic animals roaming the grounds. It was truly a paradise, but for Michael Jackson, it was an escape from the world, a place where he could experience the real childhood that he had missed. But then came 2005, the child sexual abuse case marked the end of an era. Michael Jackson never returned to Neverland, calling the mansion tainted. Many of the amusement rides, exhibits, and animals were dismantled or removed by 2009, and so they tried to sell the mansion. From an initial listing at $100 million in 2015, the asking price dropped to $67 million in 2017, then $31 million in 2018-19, and finally sold for just $22 million in December 2020 to billionaire Ronald Burkle, a longtime Jackson family friend. To erase its past, the property was renamed Sycamore Valley Ranch. But no matter what you call it, the ghosts of Neverland linger, and just when the world thought it was gone forever, the estate came back to life, but not as a home. In 2024, Hollywood rolled in to use it as the filming location for the new Michael Jackson biopic. Crews of hundreds rebuilt carnival rides, planted new flowers, and even pumped smoke into the air to mimic the atmosphere of Jackson's glory days. For a moment, Neverland was alive again, but only as a set, a staged memory of what once was. And for now, it remains empty and abandoned. Now, this is one of the most chilling stories in Hollywood history. Nicolas Cage himself admitted that his career seemed to spiral after buying this property, and I will tell you exactly why he would make such a claim. You see, this mansion belonged to Madame Delphine LaLaurie, a wealthy socialite revealed to have bound, starved, and tortured enslaved people in the attic back in the 19th century. This horrifying discovery turned the house into a notorious symbol of cruelty. Enraged locals destroyed the mansion, and Delphine LaLaurie fled to Paris, where she died years later. The original house was rebuilt around 2038 in Empire-style brick and terracotta. It's the same structure that stands today. Over the years, it served as a school, conservatory, apartments, and more. Cage bought the mansion in 2007. Cage admitted he bought the mansion partly because of its dark history, even joking that he wanted to write a horror novel there. He called it his shameful purchase in interviews, but within 2 years, he lost the home to foreclosure, never having lived in it. In 2009, the IRS seized the house along with other Cage properties due to unpaid taxes. Today, it remains vacant and off limits to the public. Tyson bought the 50,000 square foot property in the 1980s at the height of his boxing fame. We're talking about indoor pools, an indoor basketball court, mirrored ceilings, a massive nightclub, and cages for his pet tigers. Yes, real tigers. But after his bankruptcy in 2003, Tyson abandoned the property. For years, it sat rotting, gold-plated fixtures tarnished, pools filled with algae, and the tiger cages rusting away. Urban explorers flooded YouTube with footage of the decaying home, turning it into an internet legend. Nobody wanted to buy it, perhaps because the cost of maintaining it costs more than most people's annual salaries, or because it takes more than 20 people to maintain it. In the 1970s and 80s, Burt Reynolds was one of Hollywood's highest paid stars, with hits like Smokey and The Bandit and Deliverance. He built a massive 160-acre ranch in Jupiter, Florida, complete with a horse track, movie museum, and even a private zoo. The property even had a restaurant and a dinner theater, where Reynolds entertained guests with Hollywood stories. But by the 1990s, financial problems caught up with him. Reynolds filed for bankruptcy in 1996, claiming debts of $10 million. He sold sold off much of the ranch, and what was left fell into neglect. By the early 2000s, the once glamorous mansion was in ruins, its pool cracked, its theater stripped. Explorers described it as a Hollywood ghost house on the water. After his death in 2018, some of the structures remained abandoned, reminders of his once glittering empire. Today, overgrown stables and crumbling walls mark the spot where Reynolds once lived like Hollywood royalty. In 1987, Whitney Houston purchased a 13,607 square foot mansion in Mendham Township with the help of her father, which had been built just 1 year prior as her primary residence. This grand estate sat on more than 5 acres, complete with grand volumes, high ceilings, and elegant touches befitting a diva. In 1993, she added a second home as a recording studio, laying down tracks like My Love Is Your Love. Following troubles like a turbulent marriage, legal battles, and addiction, the estate fell into quietude. It remained vacant for more than 20 years. The property was sold in 2022 for around $1.6 million, with the studio converted into media office spaces, though the original soundproof glass remained. Aaron Spelling, the star behind Beverly Hills, 90210, Melrose Place, Charlie's Angels, and more, purchased a 6-acre estate in 1988, which was once home to Bing Crosby. By 1991, he had built the Manor, a sprawling 56,500 square foot French-style mansion with 123 rooms, making it the largest single-family home in LA at the time. Get this, the Manor was bigger than both the White House and the Taj Mahal. Every detail dripped with extravagance. We are talking about a humidity-controlled storage room, flower cutting and gift wrapping chambers, a barber shop, a basement bowling alley, a private screening room, a solarium, a gym, tanning rooms, a wine cellar, a tennis court, a koi pond, a citrus orchard, you name it. Tori Spelling later revealed that there were hidden passageways and an underground library. She recalled her childhood pranks on her friends in her mother's doll museum, which was a creepy basement filled with dolls that she used to scare friends. It even had mechanical surprises and eerie lighting for the full creepy feel. After Aaron Spelling died in 2006, Candy Spelling listed the mansion for sale around 2009, calling it the greatest entertainment house ever, built to host gatherings of thousands. In 2011, she sold it for $85 million in cash to Formula One heiress Petra Ecclestone, who poured over $20 million into a modern redesign, embracing black, gray, and marble interiors. By 2019, the manor sold once again, this time for nearly $120 million, setting a record for residential real estate in California. In the following years, it resurfaced on the market for $165 million, only to drop to around $137.5 million. But in a twist befitting Hollywood, in 2025, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt purchased it for $110 million. He plans to rename it 594 after its address and repurpose it for nonprofit events. So for now, the manor does not exist. If you thought Graceland was Elvis's only kingdom, think again. Back in 1967, Elvis Presley bought a futuristic mid-century mansion in Palm Springs for $105,000. It's worth about $900,000 today. This was the very house where he honeymooned with Priscilla after their Las Vegas wedding. The mansion became known as the House of Tomorrow because of its UFO-like circular design, complete with 4 pod-style living areas, 64-foot glass walls, and even a futuristic intercom system. Elvis used it as his private getaway until the early 1970s, but after his death, the property slowly fell into despair. By the 1990s, it sat abandoned, with vandals smashing windows and squatters taking over. Today, it's still largely empty, a surreal sight for a place that once echoed with the king's voice. Johnny Depp is the king of randomness, and only he would buy an entire abandoned village. In 2001, Depp purchased a 37-acre property in the south of France that included dozens of 19th century stone houses, a chapel, and a town square. He spent millions restoring it, but after his divorce from Vanessa Paradis, the village sat largely vacant. Technically, it's a village, but with Depp as the only resident, so it's a ghost mansion on a grand scale. But for now, photos have revealed streets overrun with weeds and damaged cottages. The picture-perfect village Depp was going for is no longer there. It looks like a movie set left behind after filming. And the gag? Nobody wants to buy it. Depp has put it up for sale several times, but as of 2025, no one seems to be biting. For now, it remains unsold and semi-abandoned. And there you have it, 8 haunting celebrity mansions, each with a story of glory and catastrophic downfall. So the next time you see a celebrity walking the red carpet, remember, behind the glamour, they might have an abandoned mansion to their name. So which one tells the saddest story of them all? Let us know in the comments.